Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Awesome Ashby, your team building expert. And I have a question. Today's Dare 5, right? Today's question is, what if money was no object? Ooh, like you had all the money in the world. Makes me think of that cabaret song, right? Money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round, that clinking, clinking sound. Anyways, okay. If you don't know it, look it up. Joel Gray's a superstar. Uh, so I wrote it down because I feel so strongly about what a great question this is. Um, and I think you should answer it for yourself too. I'm gonna share my answer because I think it's helpful to put yourself out there. And so I'm just doing the top 10 because I feel like I could go on, and that's a lot. So the first thing I do, and I feel like a lot of America, oh my gosh, I always get excited and I hit the table and you see the camera move, and I just want everybody to know it's just me being excited and hitting the table and then the camera wiggles. So I'm gonna try not to touch the table. Okay. So top 10 dreams. Top 10 dreams. If money wasn't an object and it was just flowing, raining down, money, 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 money. Okay, so I feel like America feels me on the first one, which is pay off all debt, right? Pay off all that debt. Pay it off, pay it off. So now that's gone. You're feeling excited. You're jumping for joy. Me too. And the second thing you want to do, I want to do is buy a place, but I would buy two places. I would buy one in Southern California and one in South Florida because I'm originally from South Florida. So that would be great. And then I would have one here. And either way, I would be near the ocean. And that's my happy place. And then, just like a side note, because I've done a lot of homework in the last 5 years, I would then take some money, a lot of money, and put in a mutual fund so that the dividends could pay for the property tax on both places for the foreseeable future, and then just leave it alone. Okay. So now there's no debt. Now we've got homes. Life is good. There's a pool. There's parking spots, everything I want. And then the next thing I would do is well, I'm going to be doing it because we're here now. I'm going to be working on this YouTube channel because I do want it to be successful. And it's a good thing to remember that money can't buy you everything, because I couldn't ever do that to have a successful YouTube channel. I've like put in the work, put in the time, make the videos, talk to the people, have some fun, build my own team. Like, I just want you on my team. What's up? Be on my team. But I think it would afford me like a lot of production value. And I love that, since my degree is in film and video production. My videos would be like way cool. And I'd have all the bells and whistles and the gadgets and the tech and the toys and all of that. I mean, if your background's in film and video, you know that the cameras and the toys are buku dinero, and they're lots of fun to play with. But they're not toys, it's professional equipment. But once you get to use it, it's a toy. Okay, so then the other thing would be traveling. I came from a beautiful home growing up, but my father was very Italian, very overprotective, didn't like me going. Oh my God, I'm knocking the table again. Didn't want me going anywhere. So he's super overprotective, and I love him to death for it. He's no longer with us. I totally understand, different generation. But I didn't get really travel a lot when I was younger because he really was so overprotective. And then once I moved out to California, I was just struggling to make it out here. And I would love to go to Europe and Asia and even Canada and see South America and like see the world. And I've never gotten a chance to do that. So if I had all the money in the world, I would definitely do that. I would also probably, if I had all the money in the world, because TV shows and films are very expensive to make. And you have to make sure that you're going to get some ROI on it, or no one's going to give you the green light. So if I had all the money in the world, I could make whatever I want, which would be so fun and super cool, and I would really enjoy it. So I would make some TV shows and films. And then, because I think it's important, if you are blessed with all the money in the world and it's not an issue, that you do give back. I think that's really, really important, period. And so I would raise awareness and do charity and fundraising, about NAMI, which is the National Association of Mental Illness. I think it's really important, and we definitely don't have enough knowledge and education in our country about it, and we can always use more. So I think that's really important. And I also think I would do a lot of charity work and fundraising for food awareness. I know there's like food drought issues in certain areas of the country, and not everybody can get vegetables and fruits, and I just have such a hard time with that. I think everybody deserves to have access to healthy choices for food. And so, yes, those are the two things I believe in really strongly. And then just for like adding icing to my cake, I would have my own personal tailor and personal trainer because I like clothes fitting me just the way I like, especially nice ones. And then the personal trainer to like motivate me, like, get up, we got to work out. And I would be like, okay, let's do it. And then my last thing that I would do, which I think is going to be controversial, but I don't care because it's important to say what you mean and stand up for what you say, is if I had all the money in the world, I would offer a free ride service to any woman in the country who needed to get an abortion and wasn't allowed to in her state because the state's being silly and stupid. Yeah, I said it. And then they could call the car service and make the arrangements, and then the car would drive them to the next state or wherever state would allow them to have the procedure done. And then if it was too far, like more than a day trip, it would take care of like a nice hotel room for the night and then bring them back the next day. And if I had all the money in the world, I would love to provide a service like that throughout the entire country, because women are literally the creators of life and they deserve all the love and respect in the world. And I think it is completely unfair that it's even a topic of conversation politically, because it's not a political issue, it's a human rights issue. And women are human, and it's our body, our choice, and we deserve to make the choice. Okay. So I did get a little political there, but I also think it's important to stand up for what you believe in. And I believe women should be able to make their own choices. I've been able to make my own choices. I've been lucky enough not to have to deal with any sort of situation of political issues like that or anything against me. But I did grow up in Florida, and I'm familiar with the South and their viewpoints. And I did grow up in the church. I'm also familiar with their viewpoints. And I feel like I live in California now, and that action is probably the biggest statement a person can make, right? Because it's what we do, not what we say. I mean, we should say things, but then you want to put action behind that. And I love the South. I love South Florida. I love the hospitality. I love the sweet tea. But I was lucky enough to grow up in a city that was a little bit more progressive, which is Boca Raton, South Florida, and I'm thankful for that. So, without further ado, I'd love to hear what your thing would be like. I think it's such a great exercise because it allows you this freedom to just like think completely openly about if you could have control over whatever you want. I mean, granted, we have a democracy as far as I know still, and we get to vote for our leaders, but when you have all the money in the world, or money's not an issue, you think of things greater than yourself, and it's so real that every day we're in the mundanity of our existence, of our job, and then the bills come in and paying them. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in the small world that we're in and not realize there's a much bigger world out there. And I think when we focus on things like what would our dream situation be, or how can we give back and help others, it just really opens up our eyes to a bigger, wider perspective. And I think that's what this exercise offers, is gives you an opportunity to sort of look at a bigger perspective, a bigger scale. And I recommend doing it. So I would love for you to post. If you're angry, post that down in the comments. If you're not angry and you were like, this is a great exercise, post that down in the comments. If yeah, like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm sharing my thoughts, my beliefs, my dreams, my goals. I would like to hear yours. I think it's interesting how we all have a very, very different perspective on this life. And I look forward to hearing yours. And it's Friday here. This probably won't get posted till next week, but I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. I've had a lot of fun. I like this dare thing. I kind of maybe want to do more challenges, and I think that'll challenge myself, maybe challenge you. I think that's how we grow in life, is when we challenge ourselves. Yeah. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week or whatever's going on when you see this video, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye.